Hello, everybody. It's Professor Malat, and this is the Unit 1 / Week 1 overview video. So I'm going to share my course page. No, I'm going to share my PowerPoint. There we go. So this is the Unit 1 overview. Unit 1 will actually start on January 18th, and we will go all the way through February, let's see, I think it's February 20th, I believe, is the last day. Actually, I have the dates here on this next slide. Yeah, the 20th. So each of our units lasts 5 weeks long, the first one going from the 18th through February 20th. So I have the setup of the weeks here. Week 1 lasts through Sunday, January 23rd. With assignment 1, the question response is due on Sunday, the 23rd. Week 2 will go from the 24th through the 30th. With the second assignment, the thesis and annotated bibliography due on the 30th. I will be talking a little bit more about this assignment just to give you a preview and a heads up this week, but I will go in greater detail next week in my week 2 course overview. Week 3 is the 31st through February 6th, and that is when your Essay 1 rough draft is due on Sunday the 6th. Week 4 is February 7th through the 13th, with a discussion board counter argument post due on the 13th. And then we finish that first unit in week 5 from the 14th through the 20th. And that is when your Essay 1 final revision is due, Sunday the 20th. So, some questions that I want you to consider as we think about this unit. The theme for this unit that I've given is criminal justice. Now, the English department used to show a different video for this first unit, but I think that sticking with the overall theme of criminal justice is still applicable, even though we have a different video that we're taking a look at this week. So some of the questions I want you to start thinking about is, what is justice? You can Google that for yourselves. I'm not going to do a whole lecture on justice, but I want you to start thinking about what justice is, because that's actually kind of this overarching theme for this whole class, the different aspects of justice and the different types of justice that we're going to be digging into in each of the units. So think about what justice is. And then more particular to this unit, are criminals victims of their environment? An interesting thing to ponder, especially as you go into the talk by Dan Riesel, or Reisel, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Also, I want you to think about what restorative justice is. It was a new concept for me to start thinking about, so I think if you get familiar a little bit with restorative justice as you watch this first video, that will be helpful. And then lastly, can empathy be taught or learned? So think about some of these questions as you head into watching this first video, and ponder some of these things and start thinking about what a paper topic might be for you for this first unit. So a little bit of context I think is helpful before you go in and watch the video. And namely, we want to talk about who the speaker is. So the speaker is Dan Riesel. He has his PhD in neuroscience from University of Oxford, and that was granted to him in 2005. So he's been researching for quite some time. He is a medical doctor and researcher in neuroendocrinology. I think on the TED Talk website, he is described as being into endocrinology or endocrine genetics or something like that. But his personal profile page is actually neuroendocrinology, and he practices at the University College London. He was born in Norway, but lives in the UK. And the only reason I bring that up is I found his accent to be a little different, and I could tell that he wasn't quite a UK person, but that he probably was either German or perhaps Scandinavian. So I found out he was born in Norway, but he's lived most of his life in the UK. And then the theme of his talk is restorative justice. So I'm just bringing that up. The place that he talks about, it's a little difficult to discern what it was, especially if you don't know about UK prisons. But the place where he did his study that he talks about in his talk is a men's prison called Wormwood Scrubs, and that's in London, England. And of course, his TED Talk is titled The Neuroscience of Restorative Justice, and that talk was given in February of 2013. Again, if you've watched my video on the rhetorical situation, you will find that some of these things are important. The fact that he is a neuroscientist primarily, and he's done research and he's working towards making restorative justice become a bigger thing, not only in the UK, but worldwide. And that his talk was presented in 2013. So it's been several years, 8 years, 9 years almost, since he has given this talk, and I'm sure things have changed a bit. So when you start to do your research for your related paper topic, I want you to try to find some more current information than what was available in 2013. In 2013, it was probably restorative justice was probably a new approach in the criminal justice world. So just keep in mind that I want you to start thinking about some more current things that are happening related to restorative justice. Has it grown? Has it become more widely accepted? That kind of thing. So that's some context for this TED Talk. Oh, I don't have any more slides there. So that's good. So let me talk a little bit about our first week here. So this is the landing page that we currently have, the course intro start here page that we currently have. Again, the easiest way to navigate in through the units is to come over to the left-hand sidebar and choose which unit we're in. So right now we're in the SA1 unit, and then you can go through the weekly folders. So you choose the folder, week 1, and I just want to walk you through this. And I know that I've said this in an earlier video, but I want to walk you through it anyway. So we start off with the due date for the work that's due. It's due Sunday, January the 23rd, no later than 11:59 p.m. Remember that you do have a little bit of a grace period, about 4 days of a grace period before I start to get on you about having your late work. So just make sure if you aren't able to get the work in by Sunday to give me an email, just so I have a heads up and I can, giving me some kind of an idea of when I can expect the work. Here we have the weekly objectives, which is primarily focusing on critical thinking, reading, and writing this week. And then we have the context, and I've changed this to be called to-do list. I think that makes more sense, the way that it's set up. So during this first week of the unit, you're going to be introduced to the quote-unquote text, the video, that you will engage with for your first essay. You'll also consider the elements of argumentative writing. So the to-do list that I have here, you're going to introduce yourself to the class using the introduction link below. And here's a description of the introductions, how to go about doing it, and some of the things that I'd like you to address in your individual introduction. Actually, I'll talk about that right now. So if you click on introductions, this link will take you to the discussion board. Then you need to click on create thread. It probably helps to have your name in that thread so we can see who's writing what, and then introduce yourself to everyone. Please take a moment to introduce yourself to the class. If you have a preferred name and or pronouns, please be sure to let the class know how you prefer to be called. You may show up as one thing in the class roster, but if you have a nickname that you usually go by all means, please let us know so that, I want you to feel comfortable. Since this is an online asynchronous class, don't assume that everybody's enrolled at the same campus as you. We do have multiple campuses. Some people may be taking a blend of online and face-to-face courses. So we all have a variety of situations here. And, some of you may be at the Cincinnati State campus, while others are at primarily at the Middletown campus, and you're just taking a couple of online classes. So that's probably a good idea. Some of the things to tell us include your preferred name, pronouns, if you choose to include those, your major and which campus you primarily are at. If you're completely an online student, we want to know that too. How you enjoy spending your free time, what you hope to learn from this class, and the last part is optional, but I think it's kind of fun. Share an image or a GIF or a meme that you feel represents how you feel about writing. And to embed an image in your post, click on the plus sign that's in the circle on the toolbar and insert local file. Try to submit your introduction as early in the week as you possibly can, but you have until Sunday, January 23rd to complete this assignment. Then the next thing is to watch the Unit 1 overview video, and that is this video that I'm recording right now, and you will find that I will actually post this probably right above this video. I will embed it and post it there. And then what do we have? Watch the week 1 lecture on the rhetorical situation. Now that lecture is found here in the resources for week 1 folder. Again, it's an embedded video, so you just click on play and you can watch it while you're in Blackboard. If you want to watch it in YouTube, you can do that. You click on it and you can watch it that way. So there is that. Then what else do we have to do? Then watch the video that's embedded here, the Neuroscience of Restorative Justice. Make sure that you take notes. I always suggest that it's a good idea. You can either print these questions out or just have access to them while you're watching the video. It's a good idea to read through them to see what's actually expected of you in the assignment and what sorts of things you need to pay attention to in this TED Talk. So that's always a good idea to have access to those questions while you're watching the video. Then complete the assignment and submit the work below. And then lastly, I want you to read through the Essay 1 possible topics PDF, which is also in the resources for week 1 folder. To start thinking about a paper topic. It's not an assignment, but it's just kind of a way for you to prepare for the coming week. So let me walk you through what's in here. So again, we have the rhetorical situation lecture. This is about 19 minutes long. I also have included the PowerPoint file that I use in this presentation. If you would rather just click through the slides yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. And then I have this Essay 1 possible topics PDF. So these are optional. I'm not saying that you have to do this, but I'd like to come up with some possible topics according to what we're learning about in video. And then I have a little bit of a copy of the assignment that you will be doing for that Essay 1 assignment in week 3. and that is to write an argument in response to the speaker's thoughts and ideas presented in the video assigned for this unit. You may either agree or disagree with the speaker in your argument. Review the handout on argument at the link below. Well, we don't have that here. I just copied that from the assignment page. Your final essay will be at least 5 pages long, 1,250 words. We'll use at least 5 sources and no more than 10, and should be documented using MLA format. So here are some questions to ponder or possibly argue. The first one, the overarching theme of this talk is that we as a society need to change the way we think about how prisoners are rehabilitated. Do you agree with this assertion? Why or why not? So these questions are set up in a way that you can actually take a stance, choose a side, and then argue for your position. Reisel, our speaker, states, quote, that this developmental progression of acquiring moral behavior is universal, irrespective of where you live in the world or which culture you inhabit, and strongly suggests that the foundations of moral behavior are inborn. Do you agree with this assertion? Why or why not? Another question, should restorative justice programs be an option for rehabilitating prisoners? Why or why not? Can empathy be taught or learned? That was one of the questions I introduced in the beginning of this overview. Is there a cost advantage to restorative justice programs? Are there creative ways to integrate these programs into our criminal justice systems without costing the community too much? Do you agree with the speaker when he asserts that science can help affect social change and contribute to the reduction in reoffending rates in the criminal justice system? Support your stance. So those are some ideas. Of course, you're welcome to come up with your own paper topic and own argument, but those were some of the questions that I had after watching this video. Now, there is here at the bottom a PDF. It's a transcript for the video that we watched. And this is taken from the TED website. The numbers here just indicate where in the video these things are being said. But I do want to show you also, if you are on the TED website, if you click on read transcript, the transcript will pop up over here. So you can follow along. So I will make sure to post this URL right below our embedded video so that you have access to that if you'd rather follow along and not have a PDF open. It's helpful for some people. You should also be able to, if you click on this little text box, you can choose subtitles, either turn them off or turn them on, and then you can choose which language you would like to have them come in. Sometimes closed captioning can be a little weird, a little off. They're not always 100% correct, but they can be helpful. And since this has a transcript that's already along with it, chances are the closed captioning is just fine. So again, if you want the closed captioning, you can do that, or you can open up in a different window and have that transcript to follow along with. The transcript comes in handy when you actually are looking for examples from within the video to use in your paper. So that's why I make the transcripts available for students. So that is week 1. Again, to recap in your to-do list, introduce yourself. You have an introduction discussion board post. You have some lectures and other videos to watch. You have this video that is the basis of your assignment for the whole unit. And then you have these question responses that are due on Sunday, the 23rd. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. That's why I'm here. And I may actually create a discussion board also just for students to post questions that anybody might be able to answer. I do that for one of my other classes, and that seems to help a bit when I'm busy and I can't immediately get to your questions. It's also nice not to have to field a bunch of different emails if everybody has the same question. So sometimes it's a good idea to just post it to a discussion board and answer everybody's questions at once. So I may do that. Okay, I have a few other things that I need to do. I need to update my playlist and copy that over and have that link available for you so that you have access to the variety of recordings that I do here for this class. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic week. And if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Bye-bye.